Kaizen, blitzing your IE career.
The very nature of IE, kasi the way we were trained, no, we think about things from an organizational setup model. We think beyond technology. We also think about organizational capability, yung HR component. We think about processes and how we tie that all up together. So my advice is, if you're in a job that you think does not use your proper that does not properly utilize your skills, you're probably in the wrong job or in the wrong company.
And
Transforming customer journeys. And in order to do that, kailangan may process management experience ka. And that's IE.
amazing. That's actually very enlightening. And
Yeah.
ang ganda Kaizen, Blitzing Your IE Career, a podcast where we talk with seasoned industrial engineers and learn how they have navigated their careers from university to their present roles. I'm your host, Johnny Boydon from the UP Industrial Engineering Department. Our fourth guest is Mr. Ramon Hoxon. He is currently the chairman at Bankware Asia and director at Globe Group and Palawan Pawn Shop. He graduated year 82. Welcome to the show, sir. Kamusta?
Thank you very much, Johnny. Glad to be here.
Ayun, so we're very excited, sir, to talk about your entire IE career. But bago yun, pag-usapan muna natin ang iyong college life. So, kamusta nga ba ang iyong college life sa UPIE, Sir Ramon?
College life was great, and I have fond memories of UP. In fact, the university was like a second home to me,
Mm.
you know. And I remember spending a lot of time, in the campus, especially, back then, UP was like a verdant garden, konti tao, konti kotse, no? So very peaceful. Yeah.
Ayun. So, napakagandang environment nga for learning ng UP.
Yeah.
But bago yun, sir, maybe balikan muna natin before when you were in college. Kasi when you were in high school, you were choosing among courses and you chose IE. So back then, sir, ano ang inyong impression sa IE? And ultimately, why did you choose to take up IE?
Okay, because I came across a book, no, because my father was with Rotary. My sister gave it to me, no. It was like a book which is published by Rotary, a guide to careers
Oh.
for high school, And then what I did was I looked at, yeah, I knew I wanted to go into engineering, primarily because I was in Philippine Science High School. So your father was in Philippine Science, and
Shout out.
when you were in Philippine Science, parang your career was parang directed towards the
Yes.
sciences, no? So you either took up medicine or engineering or one of those natural sciences like physics and so on. So to me, I was biased more towards engineering. So I looked at the different descriptions for the different engineering courses, and I felt that industrial engineering was the closest to me. Although my favorite subject during high school was chemistry. So
Oh.
I was choosing between chemical engineering and industrial engineering. Then when I took my UPCAT, I I wrote down industrial engineering, but I remember uh also taking the back then the NSDB scholarship test, no. And IE was not in the list. So I said,
Mm.
I'll just try and put in chemical engineering kasi baka I may change courses. So I remember passing both, no. I was accepted sa industrial engineering, but then I had the opportunity to shift to chemical engineering kasi NSDB was offering a scholarship. But in the end, I decided to stick with industrial engineering because of what my father told me. My father told me na, don't worry about it. Choose the 1 years to what you want to do.
Mm.
And then there was also the third thing, no. When I looked at that book kasi, industrial engineering had the highest starting salary.
Ayun. So sa mga gusto diyan ng high starting salary,
Yeah,
why not consider
yeah.
IE? But did your impression on IE change, sir? Like when you were in college na, so you got accepted and you take the IE courses. So when you were learning what IE really is, so nagbago ba yung impression? Nag-regret ba kayo or talagang na-decide nyo na this is what is really for me?
And no, just a bit, parang when I decided in industrial engineering, I in fact also applied sa Ateneo
Mm.
in LaSalle. So I was accepted in IME in LaSalle and then management in Ateneo. My my brothers were in Ateneo. My sister was in UP. It was more my sister who sort of influenced me and said, amongst this, I hear industrial engineering UP is the best. Of course, we're biased, no? But when I did, take up industrial engineering, you know, um, my expectations were not only met but exceeded. I learned a lot, no?
Wow.
And one of the things you learn about UP kasi is they teach you things beyond the textbooks, no? In fact, I remember if I recall, no, during my fourth and fifth year in UP in IE, we hardly used textbooks. It was more of the lectures and so on. No, so so a lot of what you learned, no, uh, was really not only because of your professors but because of your classmates in the group work that you did.
That's true.
So in a way, for me, of course, I don't know in other schools, but for me, it was that secret ingredient, no, sa UP where you get diverse views, no, and you know that, because there you have people who are very radical in their thinking, people who are very conservative in their thinking, even down to group work. You
Hmm.
get that, you
Hmm.
get that discourse
Hmm.
ongoing, no. So you learn to argue your position, you learn to rationalize, and you learn to sort of you know uh you learn to stick with facts and then fight out your positions based
Hmm.
on ideas and based on theory, so in a way, I think that's what helped. That to me, that was the unique experience in
Hmm.
you in IE in
Hmm.
UP.
And sabi nga nila, UP is a microcosm of society kasi people here, students here, actually faculty here, parang come from diverse
Diverse.
walks of life,
Yeah,
diverse perspectives. So, ang
exactly.
ganda rin na nagkaroon ng discourse, especially in UPIE, we do projects, we do
Yeah,
group works.
yeah,
So talagang you get to see yung broad perspective into solving a particular problem.
yeah.
Let's talk muna sir about your favorite subjects when you were in college. Ano. So alin ba sa mga IE subjects ang pinaka na-enjoy ninyo and what were your maybe fondest memories?
Okay, that's a very difficult question because most of the subjects in IE uh were a bit abstract, di ba?
Hmm.
I think you would know, no? I like subjects that delved into organizational theory,
Hmm.
organizational design, no, and then less on the math, no, yung mga linear
Hmm.
programming, I didn't like it as much. OR, I didn't like as much. But I like the group work.
Hmm.
Yung
Mga project
projects
courses.
when you do when I think this is IE when you go into the IE 50s, when you do the business case, when you do the
Oh.
business proposals,
Hmm.
when you do the systems
Design. Yeah.
systems design projects,
Hmm.
those are the ones that I enjoyed.
Hmm.
No,
How about like the group work nga, sir? I mean, do you have any memories like, I mean, paano nga ba, how did you deal with these group members, with the projects? Kasi you also, like in UPIE, also
mm,
do these projects with companies.
yeah.
So how was it? How was it? How was that experience?
Oh, that experience was very, if I may say, very enlightening. No, I remember one of our projects was in the local water utilities administration here,
Mm.
feasibility studies.
Oh.
And I enjoy that, no, because back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then, uh, when you approach organizations and then you say you're from UP and then you'd like to do some project work, they're very welcoming. So back then, when we went to the local water utilities administration, I remember um, they immediately welcomed us, and then they they uh, had us. Our sponsor was Corplan, no, and they immediately gave us the task of doing a feasibility study. And for me, it was very enlightening because you learned a lot about how the government works, about water utilities in the country. The other one that we did was on the other one that I remember was with Daikin, no, on manufacturing
Daikin.
production. So went down to Daikin in Caloocan, the factory. So all of this project work, it gave you different perspectives,
Mm,
no? And more than any other textbook, it's sort of you get a handle on how things are really done on the ground.
mm.
So
So, yeah, so that's the ano, parang yun yung pahapyaw sa kung paano nga ba
mm,
nangyayari ang UPIE
yeah,
training.
yeah.
How about the outside the ACADS naman, sir? Like maybe extracurricular, or did you join any organization, IE organization?
Well, at the start kasi I became a cadet officer candidate. During the
Oh.
time ROTC was mandatory.
Hmm.
And I joined my first sem primarily because one of my friends wanted to join. I became his buddy. But also because I learned that during that time, if you're an officer, you don't have to line up for the courses you get. You
Yes,
get
yes.
preference for the
Sa
classes and
enlistment,
so
yeah.
forth.
May priority sa enlistment.
Priorities sa classes. So when I joined that, by the time I reached the College of Engineering in my, we had classes na by the second year, no,
Hmm.
second sem. By the time I belonged to an organization, as I said, parang if I go SIAM or IE club, parang it's too much na, no. And the more important thing is that I don't know how it was during your time, but entering the second and third year, no, parang there was a demarcation line, IE club or SIAM, no. And I
Okay.
remember there were a couple of us who would sit in the middle, no. But eventually that vanished pagdating ng fourth year, fifth year namin, no? Kasi you eventually got to know each other. So maybe it was my loss. I didn't join any of those organizations. But I have
Mm.
friends on both sides.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Actually, sir, siguro, I have to say lang, I can relate kasi I also do not have an IE organization. Kasi,
Uh,
I mean, I also saw yung parang demarcation nga,
oh,
minsan sa classes, nakahiwala yung dalawang
okay.
orgs. Although now, I think medyo tamer naman na yung
Tamer
ano.
na. Oo.
Pero, do you remember, sir, parang kasi sa engineering week, parang very rivaling nga yung mga orgs, Do you have any memories on this? And
Wala
as
sa
an
engineering.
independent nga, how did
Engineering,
you?
as an independent, I was a bystander. No, I mean, I enjoy engineering week, but I also, in a way envied the group competitions kasi they would
Mm.
field basketball teams, mga
Oh.
ganon, no? But but eventually, to me, I became close to the people I did group work with,
Mm.
no, and they were from both sides of the
Mm.
fence. No, and even up to now, we're very close.
Mm.
So to me, the organizations is really, I think matter in the early years, but after
Mm.
that, not as
Mm.
much. No.
Mm. Mm. Actually, those are very good words, kasi so far in the podcast, meron tayong na-interview from the different orgs, and now we also have a representative from the independent, or
Yeah.
kumbaga yung medyo org agnostic.
Yeah.
In general, sir, like in the UPI training, kasi this is very parang UPI training is also very broad. Pag kumbaga, we train our IEs in the academic aspect, also in the extracurricular aspect, like in a balanced approach. But we also have like the UP culture na parang we have honor and excellence
Mm.
and service. And also, nade-train din ang soft skills ng mga UPIEs, ng mga IEs, na parang we also enhance our presentation skills, communication skills, leadership, teamwork. So, which among these do you think, sir, are parang the most important, or maybe all of them are important? Pero like in your perspective as an IE, which of these is parang most helped you, especially moving to your career?
All of them are important. I think for me the most important thing about which I carry up to now, no, uh, being trained in IE, it's the systems thinking.
Mm.
So you learn to look at things as a whole, no, and then you also are very process oriented. You learn to think about dissect things and say, this should be the steps to arrive at that at the answer to this problem. Um, IE folks, no, which I've worked with, and even in the companies that I've worked with, I found them as very natural, employees, no, for let's say doing IT work, doing
Mm.
process work, quality, you know, and also strategic planning, no, because they see things as a whole. So for me, the very nature of IE, kasi the way we were trained, no, we think about things from an organizational setup model. We think beyond technology. We also think about organizational capability, yung HR component. We think about processes and how we tie that all up
Mm.
together as part of systems design.
Mm.
Only a few, I think, only a few. What do you call this? Grad degree programs offer that.
Actually. Yes, actually it can kind of be unique ano sa IE training kasi actually IEs are trained to be versatile, flexible such that
Mm,
possibly any industry as
mm,
long as you apply that systems thinking, that
mm,
design, that
mm,
organizational perspective, you can actually do some contributions on that
mm.
field. Pero on the other side naman of that, Sir Ramon, kasi sometimes ang IE ay nililabel na indie eng or instant eng. What do you think about that naman, sir? Kasi they're very broad, they were very general eh.
Usually, the people who say that are the people who were in other engineering programs, di ba, degree programs, and basically they make fun of us because they feel that our courses are not as technical as
Yeah,
theirs. But on the other hand, when you think about it, the other perspective is that their courses do not have the more important subjects, which include, let's say, business, which include management, which include leadership, which
Hmm.
include, the ability to manage, the things, the skills that you need in order to manage in an organization. So for me, in my career, no, in my career, I have to tell you that I I've I've managed people from management, from mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, um, you know, electrical engineering, and so forth. The industrial engineering graduates are the natural managers and leaders because of the
Hmm.
way we're trained.
Hmm.
Sila naman, they're trained to be professionals. Okay.
Yes. So ang training din talaga ng I
Mm.
is to be
Yeah, so
managers.
when people say hindi ka it's just smile at them because when you take a look at what's happening in the world right now,
Hmm.
the technical component of engineering, for example, when you take a look at operations research, linear programming, during our time, we had the super calculator, scientific calculators, may SPSS, may mga ganon, no? Even think about people who were maybe 5 years before us, they use slide rules and so on and so forth. Pero kayo ngayon, naka-laptop, naka-ganon, pinoprogram, no? So, when you think about all of these courses, no, the advent of AI, the computers becoming more powerful, some of this, the mechanical or the, mechanical, but the formula needed in order to calculate something, uh, eventually can be taken over by a machine. But
Oo.
management of an
Hmm.
organization cannot be done by an organization. Kami nga, they say, no, that in the future, when you take a look at, let's say, how technology is progressing, you have to be careful that you have to be above the API. Now, APIs are application programming interfaces. I think your dad knows that, no? ang application programming interfaces are essentially the way you talk to machines, no? You interface with AIs and so forth. Jobs will be classified according to, are you above the API or below the API?
Oh,
Okay? Above the API, you tell the machines what to do. Below the API, the machine tells you what to do. Di ba? So when you think about the other engineering courses, when you take a look at an electrical engineer and so forth and so on, probably a machine prompts them, 'di ba, to do something, 'di ba?
Hmm,
But
hmm,
but above the API, it's about strategy. Where will you go from here
hmm,
and so forth. Let's say industrial engineer, 'di
hmm.
ba?
That's a very interesting
Oo.
take on that.
So when people say hindi, depends on your classification of engineering, what it is, 'di ba?
Ayun. So, puntahan naman natin, Sir Ramon, 'no, ang iyong pag-move after college after graduation into your early stage career. So, was it easy or difficult finding a job, after you graduated from UPIE? And maybe you can map out, sir, ano, parang paano nga ba nag-move ang career ni Sir Ramon from after graduation up to now? Maybe brief narrative lang ng iyong career path.
So for me, I always thought that I would, after IE, you had several choices kasi you either went into OR, you went into production operations, 'di ba? During that time, what I wanted to do was probably join Unilever or Procter and Gamble or Colgate, going to production operations, production management, and so on. Because that's one of the things that we trained for in IE, no? I always knew I didn't want to go into OR, 'di ba? No?
OR is the
Yeah.
math part, by the way,
The
like
math
the
part,
technical
yeah,
part.
yeah. And then you had what we call sales engineers. Industrial engineers were being turned into sales engineers. Now I didn't want to go into that, but then this was 1982 when I graduated, and wala pang personal computer. I think it was just coming out. So ang IT was just in its nascent or
Starting, yeah.
starting pa lang, no. So we were lucky in that people were hiring in that field. So in my case, um although I wasn't even thinking about it. Although I like our computer courses when I was
Mm.
here, we're using Fortran, Basic, and so
Hmm.
on. No, I liked it. No, it so happened that SGV was offering, I think this IAC had just opened the Institute of Advanced Computer Technology, and they were offering scholarships to five graduates. I was lucky enough to be given one, no? So
Oh.
it was like it was called Course 10 back then, a comprehensive course on programming, COBOL, and so on. So that's how I started, no? I took I took the test. I was given a scholarship by SGV,
Hmm.
and then after 3 months, I was given an offer by three companies, but I chose to go to IBM. So I joined IBM in 1982 as a systems analyst. So because I like the IE part, looking at processes, looking at from processes, how do I convert it to a program? How do I automate and so on, no? So I did that for maybe 2.5 years, and then I was promoted to management in different levels until I became like I moved into marketing, sales, and so forth. So I was in the information technology industry working inside IBM, but every 2.5 years they would assign me into a new position or give me new challenges. So uh, until I think 1988, 89, from a purely technical career, I decided to move into client facing, which is consulting, no?
Hmm.
And that differentiated me from others in the sense that because I had a programming background, maybe an IE background, so when I talked to clients, I knew what I was talking about. No, it wasn't from a brochure. So I got promoted, and then I got uh, assigned abroad. So starting 93, they ass- 93 they assigned me abroad. came back to the country in 95 for 4 years, then 99 up to 2015, 1999 up to 2015. I was in different IBM offices around the world. So I was based out of Singapore at one time, and then I was based out of Prague
Mm.
because one of my assignments was I was heading our Central and Eastern Europe operations, no? And then in 2015, um, because I was doing a lot of work for clients in digital transformation in banking and so forth. I was invited by the Ayalas to join Bank of the Philippine Islands. So to lead the digital transformation of the bank. So I joined them and I became the COO the for of the bank, and then until I retired in 2022. And then 2022, I joined ex-colleague of mine. We formed this company in Singapore. It's Bankware Asia. And I also got invited to join the boards of several companies. So that's what I'm doing now.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so, napaka-amazing 'no pala ng journey ni Sir Ramon from
Uh,
IBM to BPI and now doing,
yeah.
Bankware Asia. But in all of this, Sir Ramon, so parang how really did you use the IE training? Kumbaga, which specific IE subjects or maybe IE skills, include na rin natin yung maybe soft skills, the communication part, the presentation part. So, which among all of this that you have learned in university, yung parang pinaka naging useful, in your career?
I think I think all of it, no, through experience. Kasi I don't know if you read this book, but maybe medyo old na siya. But to me, it best explains the industrial engineering profession. It's the fifth discipline by Peter Senji. It was written I think, came out in 2005, no? But there he thinks about, when you're managing an organization, you think about mental models, meaning to say, what's the outcome that you want done, and then you think about communication, clarity of communication, and then the last one was systems design. That's the fifth discipline. He talks about
Oh.
four factors, and then the fifth discipline was systems design, systems approach. How do you put it all together? So for me, that best describes the IE profession. So when you ask me which of the I think all of it. You'll find out that you'll be using all of it.
Mm.
Yeah.
But are there times, sir, na parang kasi sometimes our graduates or our IEs, they say na parang they go to a job and then sometimes parang hindi nagagamit mismo yung parang mga natutunan nila in the university, ano. So, have you had these experiences na parang the things that you learned as an IE ay hindi necessarily, kumbaga nagagamit doon sa inyong trabaho?
Maybe you're in the wrong job or in the wrong
Hmm.
company. No, because look, if you're hired, for example, to be, let's say you're an industrial engineering graduate, but you're hired to, let's say, do bookkeeping, then
Hmm.
that doesn't take advantage of your skills, diba? So my advice is that you really look for a job that would, stretch your skills, no, meaning to say that you not only rely on your degree, what you've learned, but you also learn about new things.
Hmm.
So it's both the job and the company. So to me kasi, I was fortunate enough to have joined IBM. It was a learning organization. So I was
Hmm.
able to do stuff. I had the latitude to do stuff, no, to sort of experiment and so on. Now um in my career, no, I was fortunate enough, I guess, to have been able to do that. No, so my advice is, if you're in a job that you think does not use your proper that does not properly utilize your skills, you're probably in the
Hmm.
wrong job or in the
Mm,
wrong company.
mm. And how do you say that, sir? I mean, how do you say that you're in the wrong job? And how do you find for the job or maybe like the career path that's perfect for you? I mean, kasi it can also be like in the things that you enjoy or the things that you're good at. So how really can you find that?
I think it depends on the person, what you make
Mm,
of it, no? So for me, again, I had the latitude kasi in most of my jobs, I had the latitude kasi to shape things according to what I think should be done. So for example, no, when like for example, I was given my penultimate assignment in IBM. I was shipped off to Central and Eastern Europe, no. So I was based out of Prague, and then suddenly you're managing different nationalities. So that territory included Russia, Turkey, Ukraine. You have these people fighting with each other, and then you're the uniting factor. Poland, Baltics. So this was the ex-communist countries, and and you know I had a I could either say this was not meant for me, or I could sort of shape it according to what I want to do. So in
mm,
my view, what the organization needed in my view was clarity on where we should take the business,
mm,
which particular offerings we should sell in that particular market. So in order to do that, in IE we have market selection, market
mm,
portfolio,
mm,
and so on. So those skills come in handy, right? Uh, I like doing that. And then, of course, as soon as you have your plan, your business plan, you communicate it to the people, right? So again, in IE, you're trained to do that.
mm.
So I'm just saying that the opportunity will present itself in the job, but if you're in a very narrow and focused job without any latitude, and you're young, you probably should move off it.
Mm, yes.
No?
Take that step to shape your future. But
Yeah.
speaking more about that, sir, kasi you said that, kumbaga, and actually IEs are trained na parang in a systems approach, you talk with different people, maybe different departments, different
Mm,
perspectives, and somehow you are the one tasked to aggregate them all to come up with a solution.
mm.
Now I want to ask you, sir, given your experience with other countries nga, and like your whole career experience, how do you do that? Or what can you advise to IEs na parang ang hirap kasi to have to deal with people with different things that they want to happen, that different things that they want to do. So kumbaga, how do you come up with a compromise? How do you aggregate that system in order to come up with a solution na effective and maybe magiging masaya lahat, or kung ano man
Yeah.
objective?
Well, my view is just as long as there's clarity on your process for making a decision, whether they like it
Objective.
or not, I think people will accept it because it was done in a fair and objective manner. So for me, that's very important. When you come into a situation like that, you should first articulate, no, what you want done. Articulate also the process by which you want it done, and that everybody would have an opportunity to tell you what they think. No, but at the end of the day, it's your call. Okay.
But how about making that decision, sir? I mean,
The,
oh,
the decision has nothing to do with IE. It's about
mm,
your character.
mm,
It's about you can be trained in IE, but if you don't have the courage nor the fortitude to
mm,
make the decision, walang
mm,
mangyayari sa'yo.
mm, mm.
Oh,
Oh, these are some good good thoughts.
yeah.
How is your work life, sir? I mean, how is a day in the work life of an IE, especially in your kumbaga in what have been your experience? So, kamusta ang isang araw, sir, in a work life?
Ay, ano kasi, me kasi, my wife tells me, no, I have ADHD, but I think it's more of I have continuous partial attention, meaning to say I can do different things all at the same time. Maybe it's the way my mind works, no? So in computer language, we call it multitasking. So I don't do things serially, I do it in parallel. So I would do one task here, maybe I won't complete it, but I'll do another thing here and I have like an inner thing in my mind on my deadlines, no? So so each one of us has a different way of working. I can impose on you, I can tell you this is
Mm,
how I work things out, no? But my only advice is you find out how your brain works, how you contend with structures and deadlines,
mm,
and then manage towards that, di ba?
mm.
Kasi meron iba, probably some cannot, cannot work the way I do. They will become stressed, no? Kasi ako sometimes I would cram or delay things until the kasi I'll start something out, I won't finish it, and then I keep on thinking, and then middle of the night I think of
Um,
something, and then I start it out again. And then when I do things, let's say for example, I'm making a speech or a presentation, I do it in front of a TV set while watching something, no? So it depends on the person, depends how
mm,
your brain is wired.
mm.
Okay.
How about being a leader naman, sir, and like a manager? You've been a general manager nga and actually
Uh,
COO sa BPI. So what can you advise for our IEs na parang on the executive level or managerial level or leader level on how to deal with people, how to motivate people to work towards maybe like a common goal? Kasi leadership is very important din sa IEs eh.
ako kasi what I've learned, no, and part of it I learned during my ROTC days, no. People learn to hate you, but you know, but what's important is respect. And for me, in order to do that, there are three things that you need to build, no, in order to lead an organization. I call them the three C's, no,
Three C's.
three C's, no. The first one is uh organizational capability. So capability, meaning to say, if your organization is meant to do the following objectives, what you need to do is take a look at whether you have the capabilities and competencies present. And if not, then you need to find a way to take your people there, train them. Di ba? So competency and capability is very important because organizational capability is how you're able to do things. It's not just one person, it's not, but it's the whole team. So you've got to find the right combination of talent and skills and capabilities, and you need to build a plan on how you bring your team up to that level, no,
Mm,
talent wise, organizational capability also thinks about not about the here and now, but also the future. So meaning to say, you think about sustainability also. Once I have the talent and the skill, how do I sustain this? So retention, do I have succession plans? Do I have backup? Do I have contingencies? Diba? The second C is about capacity.
capacity.
Okay. Meaning to say, you do have the competency and capability, but you have the capacity. If let's say you can do one thing, two things, three things, but let's say if you're tasked to do 1,000 projects, do you have the capacity to do 1,000 projects? Uh, Competency and capability talks about having the right skill in the organization. Capacity talks about having the numbers to
Mm,
be able to do the projects. The reason being that you'll find out that in most organizations, people get burned out. The highly qualified people or the capable people get burned out because in a team of 10, only two people are working. No? And I learned that sa IE, sa group work. 10 kami, pero dalawa lang kami gumagawa dito, 'di ba? No? Meron iba, they don't show up, they show up only during the presentations, 'di ba? No? So early on in my career, I said, if I am a leader, I'm gonna weed people out, no? People
Mm,
like that. So capacity is about weeding, you know, nurturing, making sure that you have the numbers to be able to to fulfill the
mm,
objective, no? And then the third C, which is the most important, you build culture. And culture is about, to me, culture to me, other people may have their own definitions. Others would be culture na nurturing, ganun. Ako, culture ko is performance driven. Okay? For me, it's about if I'm gonna build a winning team, it has to be a team. It's based on meritocracy. It has to be based on performance. So if you're not performing, I have to be very frank and candid with you that you don't belong to this team.
Mm.
Okay. Which is amongst the three, this is the hardest thing for Filipinos. Because Filipinos don't like to manage people out. But
Mm.
for me, kasi yung philosophy ko is that I should manage the non-performers out because it demotivates the performers.
Mm.
Okay, so again, so that's how I build it. That's my simple formula.
Mm.
In my career, I build organizational capability, making sure that I have the right competencies. Secondly, do I have the capacity to be able to do the job at hand? Third, do I have a winning culture? No, and to
Mm.
me, that's performance driven. Dapat.
Oh, that's a very good formula. Competency and capability, capacity and culture, especially for our IEs ano na nasa leadership roles na and kumbaga they're leading a team
Yeah.
towards this objective. Speaking on like the personal or professional aspect nito sir, parang you built your career kasi by your own. I mean, you built your career, you developed your skills, you built your networks and you developed your career. What may be parang yung pinaka important concept or thing or maybe person attitude or trait that you have that you think made you successfully build your career?
I cannot put it my finger on one thing, but maybe just first of all, no, apart from the three things, no, as a leader, to me, the most important thing kasi to build respect amongst your teams is clarity of communication. They know exactly where you stand at any point in time. So I believe in straight talk.
Mm.
So medyo, minsan malakas ang dating ko, no? The other thing is that you should be humble enough to seek the opinions of others and admit in certain cases that you probably don't know everything. 'Di ba? An ex-boss of mine once told me that uh that as your area of knowledge increases, so does your circumference of ignorance.
Mm.
So as your responsibility grows, so does the area of things that you may not know. So that's why you need to
Mm.
build teams around you.
Mm.
Okay.
And that's very deep, ah.
Mm.
Moving on naman sir ano, kasi you after IBM, then BPI, then you're now at Bankware Asia. So can you tell more about this and how and why did you choose to do this?
No, this is Bankware Asia kasi my early career kasi I was developing systems, core banking systems for banks. So friend of mine owns a company in Korea. So when he told me that he wanted me to form a company that would uh, offer banking as a service, to other countries outside of Korea, China, and Japan, where he's located. We agreed with him to form this company in Singapore. So, I spend a lot of time in Singapore because that's where the company is located. So, Bankware Asia offers banking as a service, meaning to say
Hmm.
financial services solutions as a service, hosted solutions, no? And they go into core banking, different types of financial services, let's say card management and so on, no?
I'm curious about that, sir, ano, kasi parang in your career, you also make decisions. Like, for example, you move to different departments or you move to different companies or maybe you do your own thing. I mean, so what makes you decide? I mean, how do you decide also? And kumbaga, what also makes you motivated to choose and to further develop your career, kumbaga?
Well, decisions are about timing and also about what you want to do at that time, no? So for example, when I retired, in 2022. I said, I'll just probably do consulting, no?
Mm.
Out of the blue, my friend tells me, hey, why
Oh.
don't we do this
Mm.
instead, no? And then I have uh, several other, like your father, startups. They're asking me for opinions.
Mm.
So you don't. Decisions are really made based on what opportunity presents itself to
Mm.
you. Diba? In some cases, you seek it. In some cases,
It
it comes to
appears.
you. Yeah.
Kamusta naman sir kasi ngayon, parang you're somehow retired na 'no, pero you're still doing these things. How different is your work life from back then
Oh,
to
very
now?
different, but it's almost the same work hours, no?
Mm.
Uh, I I have to be in Singapore quite often,
Ah.
and also we have a major market in Indonesia, so
Mm.
I go to Indonesia quite often. I also do consulting with my old company pa,
Hmm.
no? So, and then I'm on the board of other companies. So the difference is that I almost work the same hours, but it's in
Marami na
different
ngayon.
subjects, different ano,
Oo.
'di ba? Oh. So you should learn how to juggle your time and manage your time. Yeah.
And on that note, sir, ano, kasi marami sa mga ating IEs are very interested sa consulting. I mean, becoming these consultants and maybe also consultants in different companies. So, what can you advise to them as an IE? And parang which part do you think of the UPIE training has become most beneficial for you now, given
A consultant is about brand building. No, you can uh the 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 first thing you need to do is to do the hard work. You finish off some projects first that you're known for. You cannot be a consultant overnight without not doing anything.
mm,
Okay. So for me, consultant to me has been a journey. And people look at my resume because I've done this, I've done that, I've done
oh,
this. So people consult with you because of your
ah,
experiences. Na people do not consult with you because of your potential.
hmm,
People consult with you because you have a proven track record of certain things that you've accomplished.
hmm.
That I think is one of the things that um, young people should learn. No, kasi put in the work first before you become a consultant. Yeah.
Medyo nai-inspire ako dito and na-enlighten ako,
Uh,
Kasi I mean, it's very interesting. I mean this career path, but it's true. You really have to build it
yeah.
first. You really have to build your portfolio, your
Uh,
experiences first. You're also on the banking sector, sir, somehow, ano. So, kamusta naman po ang connection ng IE in banking? How relevant are the things that you've learned in IE sa banking sector, sa banking
it's
industry?
very relevant in one, no, because in financial services now is I think the industry that's going through a lot of digital transformation. So when you're talking about digital transformation, it's really the impact of technology and the potential of doing new things, no, in order to deliver financial services. So your IE training is about methods and procedures. Your IE training is about process improvement. Your IE training is about systems design. So IE folks are very important because now they need to take a look at existing processes, take a look at potentials, and then what can be done. So I'll give you an example. No, uh, part of digital transformation is a methodology where you take a look at, whereas before processes more paper driven, take a look at compliance and so forth. So one of the key things about digital transformation now is customer journeys, where you tend
Hmm,
to take a look at processes from the end in view from the viewpoint of the client. What is it the client wants to do? So one of the methodologies that we are using in most of the companies I work with is the jobs to be done method. Jobs to be done is a methodology by Synergin, no, incorporated, originated by the guy who wrote The Innovator's Dilemma, Clayton Christensen, no. And jobs to be done, uh, the basic thing is take a look at the customer and then take a look at what is the job to be done. Meaning to say, if I open a banking account, okay, from a customer point of view, what is it that I want? I want an account. Open a bank account. So in order to open a bank account, anong mga necessary steps mo dyan? Whereas before, most of these processes, the traditional banking processes, fill up tayo ng paper para may file tayo. No? May ganito tayo. Now, when you take a look at the form, some of the information is not necessary. But when you look at jobs to be done, for example, no, in one of the things that we worked with, from let's say 20 data items, we've now already down to 11 lang kailangan natin in order to do a bank account. That the work that's being done there is what? Similar to what you do in IE.
Yes.
Diba? Methods and procedures and
Yes.
so on. Diba? So when you read the jobs to be done methodology, you'll immediately identify with it as an IE person. So kayo dyan, sa IE, in digital transformation, a key factor is about transforming customer journeys. And in order to do that, kailangan may process management experience ka. And that's IE.
Amazing. That's actually very enlightening. And
Yeah.
ang ganda ng term, transforming the customer journey and using the jobs to be done methodology. Now I have to ask you, sir. We have here 6 pillars ng IE. Medyo popular to now eh. I'll ask you, sir, to pick like maybe the top 2 na parang do you think pinaka-valuable, pinaka-important for IEs. We have here, sir, first pillar is systems thinking. Second pillar is process thinking. Third is continuous improvement. Fourth is customer centricity. Fifth is quality orientation. And sixth is metrics based. So, can I ask you, sir, to choose maybe like top 2 dito? Do you think like parang pinaka-important for an IE to hone maybe in themselves?
I think customer centricity is important because at the end of the day, gaya ng jobs to be done, what is your your reason for existing? The organization is existing to serve clients. So kailangan ng thinking mo should be centered on what the client wants from you. Diba? So customer centricity is very important without saying that the others are less important. But for me, right now, especially in the world of digital, new ways of doing things, you need to think about, in the first place, what are your clients trying to do? What do the clients want from your organization? Diba? And then, to me, the second one is system thinking. You aggregate it, put it all together, and so on. You think about this, Barnes and Noble ka, or National Bookstore ka. Have you seen National Bookstore? Going up to National Bookstore kami, hindi niyo maalala. Kasi, ngayon, you can order books online.
Yes.
Meron ka ng Kindle or e-books and ganon. In the 80s, the National Bookstore, ang laki niyan. Lahat ng novels nandiyan, lahat ng books nandiyan. So I'd often go to National Bookstore and browse books, di ba? Now, technology came in. Ngayon, ang Kindle ko is what I use. I buy books directly from Amazon and Kindle. What was the job to be done? Reading. Diba? Not going to the bookstore. So ang focus, you look at Borders, Barnes and Noble in the US, ang focus nila, pagandahin natin ng store. Baka pumunta sila dito, lagyan natin ng coffee shop dyan, ng ganun. But anong jobs to be done ng client?
Oh.
Kailangan ko yung book din para basahin ko. Diba? So Amazon, thinks about it, says fast delivering importante.
Yes.
Diba?
Ang galing. Ang galing. I mean, ang galing if you really look at what needs to be done. Kasi, for example, the digital transformation, it can be like another approach na,
Yeah.
kumbaga, going on rin with the trend, with
Oh.
how technology is evolving now. Speaking of this, Sir Ramon, kasi IEs now also have to adapt with technological trends. So what do you think about like the future of IE, and what can you maybe give us an advice to our IEs na parang paano ba dapat sumasabay ang IEs sa pag-develop ng technology?
I think IE will evolve, no? IE is needed. Especially, I think it's one of the most relevant programs as you do digital transformation. A lot of people will probably look, no. Again, I go back to your question about IE and in the end, no. Ang IE kasi thinks about possibilities, no. Um, most of the other engineering courses, I would describe them as they're a mile they're a mile deep but an inch wide. Ang IE is a mile wide,
Yes.
an inch deep.
Can be a jack of all trades nga,
Oo,
sabi nila.
an inch deep. That's what you need right now. Kasi a lot of those things that are a mile deep can be done by machines,
Yes.
can be done by AI. Pero yung aggregation, yung creativity of putting it all together,
Mm.
that's with IE, no? Now, what's the reality? As these things come in, you will see a lot of flux, disruption in society as machines take over jobs, no? When I graduated in 1982, no, parang jobs were defined, no? As a as an industrial engineering graduate, I can become a process analyst, systems analyst, programmer was nandun, product operations, and gano'n, no? But if you're a new grad now, baka nawala na yung ibang jobs na yun, no?
Actually.
Baka ang production planning hindi na kailangan kasi may computer ka na, may gano'n ka na. So so the new grads are are placed in this. There's a lot of uncertainty. It's not only economic uncertainty, but uncertainty brought about by technology. Because as technology takes over certain jobs. And then there's also the thing about social contracts. Companies have also changed. During that time, companies would offer us lifelong jobs with pensions and gano'n. Ngayon, hindi. No? Ngayon, most companies offer you parang gig, di ba? 3 years, 5 years, ganun.
Yes.
So, ang description sa inyo, I think right description for people entering the workforce now, you're the precariat. Precariat is combination portmanteau of proletariat and precarious.
Oh.
Oh, kayo precariat. There's a guy who coined the word, no, precariat. Kasi you're going into a job market that has a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions about sustainability of careers kasi career nyo can immediately vanish and then pag ganon, no? So, it needs a lot of adaptability. It needs a lot of, what I call creativity on your part. So, ang challenges nyo iba sa amin. No, in fact, I would say mas challenging ang market ngayon, no? But on the other hand, you bring along certain things, no? Kasi most of the new grads are more technologically adept. Plus ang lifestyle nila, they're used to the gig economy.
Yes.
Projects by project, no? So you're used to that, no? So hard for me to give advice because I come from another generation. But if I were to give one, to me, what has served in my career is you build your brand. Just like what I said earlier, no, I mean, your brand is about projects that you've done, experiences that you've done. You build a resume, then you build your brand, then you can sell that to other people, di ba? And in your early career, in your early years of your career, maybe first 5 to 10 years, focus on that. And a lot of that experience is transferable as technologies advance, no? So that's my ano.
Yeah, but that's
Medyo mahirap ang mundo na ngayon. Oh.
But that's super insightful, sir. I mean, ang main takeaway ko dito is ayun nga, one of the things that maybe the younger generations can learn from, especially now no, na parang very fast evolving ang technology, very fast evolving ang mundo. So we need to be adaptable. Very short question lang there, sir, kasi you also talk about digital transformation. So how different do you think is parang ang job ng IE like yung medyo traditional methods, traditional ways into this digital world? Kasi now we deal with information systems, with this computerized system. So how do you think kumbaga yung difference nun?
The approach is the same.
The same,
Systems
yeah.
design, systems approach, the thinking is the same. It's just that the way you accomplish it may be different
Yes.
because of technology.
Ayun. In one word, Sir Ramon, what is IE? Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap up everything. One word.
Ako, IE is best described multidisciplinary.
Oh. And
Okay. Again, balik ako dun sa hindi IE sa ganun, no? Nilaloko nila kayo kasi hindi IE kasi hindi pa ma-describe. But that really is the main thing about IE. We're supposed to be multidisciplinary. We're supposed to be a jack of all trades. Di ba? Nilaloko nila tayo kasi wala kayong specialty. Pero ganun tayo talaga.
Yes.
We're supposed to know everything but not specialize in anything so that we can manage them.
Ayun.
Okay?
Just to end this lang, sir. Thank you so much for this conversation. Final advice lang, final words for our listeners na parang what should ICE really be and how should they really build their careers as industrial engineers?
Sorry, what was the question?
Final advice lang, sir, na parang how should ICE build or develop their careers?
Build your careers on I think you have to do this balance concept with execution. Okay? A lot of ang difference in graduates sa different schools loko lang. I mean, loko lang to Pero I find yung mga management engineering sa ibang schools more theoretical sila. More Ang UP naman mabilis sa execution. Di ba? So balance both.
Oh.
Di ba? You have to think about, I think as you approach things, have a clear view of what you want done and then execute on this. Di ba? No, ang sabi ni si Einstein yata nagsabi noon 'di ba? Strategy without execution is an illusion. Execution without strategy is a hallucination. So kailangan i-ano mo yung dalawa. Okay.
Oh, galing. Balance theory and strategy and execution and implementation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sir Ramon, for this conversation, for our episode dito sa Kaizen Blitzing Your IE Career, an IE podcast. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.